Hello and welcome to part 26 of my All Quests, All Endings Elden Ring guide. We've just defeated Godfrey, first Elden Lord, the Shade version of him. We're in Leyndell Royal Capital. Going to grab that holy grease there. Then we're going to wander through here and climb these vines. When you get to the top, we need to get up there. So, how do we do it? Go out here, jump onto the roof, head up here, jump through the window, open the chest for the Erd Tree Bow. And from there, head this way, get the Celestial Dew and kick the ladder down. Then head up these vines here and you can get that Golden Order Principia spellbook. Then we're going to head through here and we're going to take on a Black Knife Assassin. Make sure you apply any buffs, they're quite tough. This will take us to the Queen's Bedchamber Site of Grace. So deal with them however you see fit. We're going for Unendurable Fury, Frenzy rather. Blessing of the Erd Tree incantation there, grab the Site of Grace, rest at the Grace, then take yourself back to here. This time we're going to head out here, climb back down the vines, taking care to deal with these guys who decided to hang around on these vines for whatever reason. Make our way back here. We're going to go and find Gold Mask and Corin again. Who'll be very happy. They're quite excited when you take them the Golden Order Principia. Just deal with the duelist however you see fit. Try not to get killed like I did, but it's not a problem. We shall get back there in a second. In fact, we're going to shortcut this way. Probably a better Site of Grace to go from. It's worth killing these guys because their weapons are only farmable here. And they're quite decent, so do consider killing these every time you come through here, just to give yourself a chance of getting those weapons. Head up to the Colosseum anyway once you're done. There's another duelist to deal with here. It shouldn't take you a second though. Just keep it simple. Get rid of him, get yourself a Ritual Shield Talisman. Then from there we're going to head around this corner. And there's a weapon we're going to grab around here. Just grab a few runes while we're at it. And it must be the next one. Yep, so we pop in here, get yourself a Starfist. Then go and speak to Corin and Gold Mask. Exhaust all the dialogue, taking that wonderful Elden Ring lore. That'll give you a couple more spells you can take, one of which you need. That's the Lord of Regression spell, which costs a lot of mana, but it undoes any kind of incantations or that sort of thing. So we need to equip that to do the next part of the quest. Make sure you've got Lord of Regression equipped. Then leave via this door here. Going to drop down here. Take the left. Got yourself a perfumer guy to deal with down here. And we've actually missed where we need to use that statue. We're going to collect a few items first. There's a Crucible Knight to deal with here, but we can should be able to deal with him fairly easily. He is optional, but if you want the Ash of War here, the Barrier of Gold, it's easier to deal with the Crucible Knight first. Now we also need to get the Bolt of Grandsack legendary weapon, which is missable. If you do this before you burn the capital, if you don't do this rather, then you won't be able to get this weapon, and it's needed to get all the achievements for this game. So I highly recommend getting it around about now. Only we can't get it now because we've been knocked off our platform by that man with the bow. quite annoyingly, isn't it? So you may find we die once or twice in this area. And again, do take your care with your jumps. That was not my finest hour, but never mind. I'll speed things up so I can get back to where we're supposed to be more quickly. Drop down there, jump onto there, climb up, get yourself a bolt of Grandsacks. Then you can drop down, deal with these perfumers, deal with the soldiers, fight way back to the top. Once you've got the bolt of Grandsacks, you can actually leave this area. That's the only part that's important, really. The rest of this is pretty much skippable. It's just me grabbing items and runes. The important part is shortly when we come to the statue. And again, we've just been killed by the misbegotten thingamajiggery, but that's not a problem. We're going to get back. It takes us a second. It shouldn't give you too much difficulty, really. It's just a matter of being prepared. So we can take these out this time here with a bit more thought. Main annoyance is those guys with arrows. Deal with him. Now we can explore at our leisure. Give yourself a gravel stone there. Always useful. Again, this little bit is actually fairly optional. There are some items to grab here if you want them. If we deal with that, we'll get some nice gold runes and a somber smithing stone. Then we'll head back this way, but again, do feel free to skip this part and in your own play go straight to the part where we reveal the statue. This is where we've got that we can trap him behind the banister rail here to make it a little bit easier. And we can deal with him and him. Wander through there, grab yourself a couple of golden runes. Always useful. Then head back this way. Stone sword key. And this is the point where I'm thinking about where I need to go. Got a few more runes there. And the part where we need to get to isn't actually accessible from here. What we're going to need to do is go back to that site of graves and come down the lift again. Just grab a few items over here. Got yourself another Lord Sworn straight sword there. A perfume guy we can deal with for a somber smithing stone. We can deal with these guys here. Get some extra stuff. There's a knight guy there to deal with, if you're so inclined, and another one. Now I think we'd better get on with the task in hand. Again, this is me not remembering where the statue is. The statue we need to see is actually at the bottom of the lift, then down a flight of stairs. So any second now we're going to fast travel to the right side of Grace. Which is this one. So, down here, down this lift, and the statue we need to use Law of Regression on is just here. You don't stand too close or too far away, but when you use it in the right place, I'm too close here. You need to be a little bit further away, just at the bottom of the stairs, really. That's done it. So we've changed the statue of Radagon into Marika. So that's showing us that Marika and Radagon are the same person. So we can now take that information to Goldmask, and he'll be very pleased. So back across here. Again, always worth trying to farm these weapons if you're a completionist. Don't drop anywhere else, and this area is not available after you burn the capital. Head up to the top, deal with him, run around here. You'll see Goldmask is still there and Corin's still there. Speak to him. You should find you can get the option to tell him that Radagon and Marika are the same person. So Corin will be very pleased, and he'll give you a new incantation, Immutable Shield, to buy, which I recommend you get. You can give him any of the prayer books or binding incantations if you want. Not too happy about this one, but you can get Lord's Aid and Lord's Heal off it. Then we're going to go to the Queen's Bedchamber. It's now time to deal with the main boss of Leyndell, this area. Activate the summoning pool and you'll find Melina is available to come and help you now. Which is great. So apply any buffs and get ready to take on Morgot the Omen King. He'll wander down the stairs. He'll ask you what your business is with these thrones. He'll tell you about Mikula and Radan and Rykard and Lady Princess Rani. Interestingly, it's basically the same as Morgot the Fell Omen, but I felt you're actually fighting the real version of it. I've heard if you kill this guy first, Morgot no longer appears, as if Morgot is like a kind of spectral projection of Morgot the Omen King. So if you skip around the castle using a shortcut, then kill Morgot first, Morgot won't appear, or so I'm told. Anyway, we're going to have another crack at him. Let's see if we can do a bit better this time. So again, we're letting Melina take the aggro a bit while we'll get the runes back. We've got the Mimic's Tear in all the action too. Some nice range attacks there. We'll be prepared for that dodge roll. Make sure you time the invincibility frames. Then we're going to go for our patent pending get hit in the face by Morgot. We've done a fair bit of damage there. We're going to keep going at it with the unendurable frenzy. Try and whittle his health down a bit. He's got a few thousand off and broken his poise. Just keep the pressure on and watch out for these big area of effect attacks. The Mimics having a go with the unendurable frenzy there. And get some ranged attacks in now with Frenzied Burst. And he's just throwing a spear at us. That's just very inconsiderate. And he's going after Melina at the moment by the look of it. Looks like the Mimic's tanking him fairly well, so we're going to try and get a bit more damage off. Blasting with Frenzied Burst. Keep smashing those out. One more good hit. And he's dealt with. Fairly straightforward. Bit trickier than Morgot, the kind of pre-Stormveil version. Make sure you try and get through the brambles to get into the Erd Tree and then go and rest at the bonfire. Melon will come and speak to you and she'll tell you what you need to do next. Taking all that wonderful Elden lore. And the new journey is going to be to the mountaintops of the giants. So she'll give you the rolled medallion there. So the next thing we're going to do, just to wrap up things in Limgrave, we're going to go back to Castle Morn. Head through the castle, deal with any of the occupants, get yourself to the top, and you should find Kenneth Height is waiting for you. Speak to Kenneth. He'll complain about there not being a ruler of Limgrave. Go through all this dialogue, take in all that wonderful Elden lore. Then head to where you fought Godric the Grafted in Stormveil Castle. Then you need to go and rest at the secluded site of Grace. This is a bit of a glitchy thing. Sometimes it doesn't work first time. If you come in here and it's empty, it means it hasn't worked. So what you need to do is, in that scenario, go to the round table hold, head down here, speak to Nepheli, come back to where you fought Godric again, and again it's still not quite working. So again, head out, rest at the Grace, past time. Then head back to here, and you should find that Nepheli is here with Kenneth. So she's going to become the new ruler of Stormveil by the sound of it. And Kenneth will be very happy. She'll give you an ancient dragon smithing stone. Make sure you speak to Kenneth and Nepheli and explore all their dialogue. Don't leave afterwards. Make sure you go and speak to the other guy, Gastock, I think his name is, before you leave. He's under throne table. He'll now have an ancient dragon smithing stone you can buy. So they're in quite short supply, these are. You need them to level up weapons to the max, so recommend you buy that. And that's pretty much Nepheli's quest done. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're following the series. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.